The crazy part is I thought this too until my ex, who tried to kill me, started thinking this way. Your comment is, the fact that they managed to make so much normal, insane advice into something crazy and twisted is honestly impressive when you think about it. Which, at face value, I 100% agree. And I'm not calling you like a bad person or comparing you to like my ex or anything because of this. Just like, hold on. There is 100% absolutely a level where you can, look at someone and think, I cannot believe that you were able to convince all these people of all these things. That is insane. That is incredible. Holy charisma and influence. I do not agree with what you're doing. I do not agree with what you are saying. I think you are using, this little superpower you have for a very, very bad reason. But like, oh my God, like that is a normal thing. That is something that you can like get behind. Totally get that. That's not wrong. But I was in an abusive relationship for 2.5 years. It wasn't always abusive for those 2.5 years, but like for a fair amount of it, it ended up getting that way. And then it got worse and worse and worse and worse until one day my ex tried to kill me. And about 4-5-ish months before that fateful day when he tried to, wipe me off the face of the earth, I forget how the conversation started, but we're sitting in our living room and we're in front of the TV, and he makes a comment about how he admired the bad mustache man. The one from technically Austria, but like we all consider him, like we think about him as being German. He also admired the shit out of Jim Jones. And I asked him why he would admire such horrible, awful people. And he said that he understood that these people did horrible things, but it is admirable that these average people, these Joe Schmoes, were able to convince so many people into doing their will. And that itself is incredible and it is admirable. And he hopes one day that he can have as much influence as those people. And that's the day that I realized that I was dating a psychopath. But no, in all reality, cults are designed to work this way because at every cult, whether you like are really truly paying attention to it or not, maybe sometimes a little more hidden than others, they're all going to be based in the life or the teachings or the influence of one central specific person. And then if that person is not like the head figure, there's also going to be like a very like visible, reachable, like attainable-ish head figure. Sometimes they're the same person, sometimes they're not. But these cult founders or these cult leaders, whatever you want to call them, their whole goal is to be as charismatic as possible to try to win people over to their cause and their belief system and convert them into thinking that way and then acting that way at their own will, like at the leaders' will, not the followers' will. And then the followers are then going to, whether they realize or not, they're going to want to start acting like that follower, like that leader. And they're going to start basing all their lives around them. So that is how you know how truly deep these cults are. They are that sick and twisted because they're going to start taking all these talking points that sound great because that's how these cult leaders, they started reeling them in the first place. And then they take their charisma and they just start twisting things a little bit, then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and eventually whatever they started off saying runs off the tracks and is entirely different and veers left right at the point where it's starting to make sense. They're going to start making it make